What's up, everybody? In this video I'm going to teach you how to play my loop cover of the John Mayer song I Don't Trust Myself with Lovin' You. But first, I got some news I want to share. Pretty soon here I'm going to be starting a Patreon, and it's going to be all about guitar tutorial content. So if you like the video that you're about to watch, maybe you saw the red bone tutorial I made not too long ago, there's going to be a bunch of more videos like that on Patreon for patrons pretty soon here. In the next few weeks I'm going to get this going, and I'll have some more to share about it, some more announcements later, like when it goes live, but just keep that on your radar for now. I've got a Patreon coming. Okay, let's get to the tutorial. So the first thing I'm going to do is just play the whole thing so you know exactly what I'm about to teach you how to play. So, it sounds like this. Okay, that's what it sounds like. It's pretty long, but let's get into it. So, I'm going to go part by part, starting with the rhythm section. The verse chords, so there's three of them. E minor, G major, and C. Actually, the first thing I need to say is that this is in a different key than the original. Same piece of music, same chord progression, same melodies and everything, but different key. So, as I'm about to show you how to play it, you couldn't just jam along with the studio cut. You'd have to change the key. I think the original goes A minor, C, F. That'd be in the key of C. Mine goes E minor, G, C. So, this is in the key of G major, E minor. Those are the two scales that everything's going to come from. All the chords all the melodies, everything is going to be drawn from those two scales, G major, E minor. So the verse chords go E minor, G, C. Now I'll break down each of these chords for you. So our E minor chord, I'm playing a 1-5-3 E minor chord. This is a 3-note voicing. That's something that's important. All of these chords are going to be specifically 3 notes, and only 3 notes, not more. You don't want to play anything but the E string, the A string, and the G string for these verse chords. So for E, we have E on the bottom. Second finger on the A string is our 5th, that's B. Open G string is the minor 3rd. So this is a 1-5-3 E minor voicing. We've got like a power chord on the bottom, and then we've got our 3rd an octave above. So there's our first chord. Here's our G. This is G major. Now, it's a first inversion, so that means that G isn't the lowest note, it's B, the major 3rd of G. Our G, that's on the 7th fret of the E string. Our G is going to come on the 10th fret of the A string. First finger is just going to bar straight across on the 7th fret. And then on the G string, we're going to find our 5th. So our first chord was a 1-5-3. This one is a 3-1-5. So there's our power chord, G up to D, and our 3rd is on the bottom. Now this gets us to our C major chord. C, 8th fret on the E string. G is actually shared between these two chords. G's the 1 of the G chord. It's also the 5th of the C chord. So our pinky stays in the same spot right there. And then our D goes up a whole step to an E. So the major 3rd of C is the 9th fret on the G string. And I do this too, where I play the C with my second finger, the G with my pinky, and then I've got my first finger on the D, same note that we were barring right here. So in transitioning between these two chords, I'm taking my second finger, I'm moving from the 7th fret up to the 8th, and I'm bringing my first finger, starting this on the 7th fret, and then hammering on to the 9th fret of the G string. That's very, very important for this. Okay, the other really important thing is that the chords don't start on the downbeat. The loop does, so I hit the looper before I'm playing anything, and then I come in with the music. So the timing goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, loop. 2, 3, 4, and loop. So if you were going to break the measure down into 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, the music, the first E minor chord comes in on the first and. So not the 1, but the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So there's a rest. You don't drop the first E minor on the downbeat of the first measure. You wait an 8th rest. Okay. So that repeats 4 times. That repeats 4 times for the verse. And then we get to the chorus, which is kind of the same chords, but we play them in a different area on the neck. So instead of playing E minor down here, we're going to start the chorus playing E minor up here. 12th fret E string, 9th fret D string, 12th fret G string. So this is actually the exact same notes. 1-5-3, E, B, G, same thing, just an octave higher. This is our E minor chord, the first of the chorus. We're going to take this shape, change nothing about it, bring it down to the 7th fret of the E string. So now we have B, F sharp, D. This is our B minor chord. Then we go up to C major, and we do kind of the exact same thing that we did here, except instead of with our pinky on G on the A string, we're going to play that same note on the 5th fret of the D string, and we're going to change kind of how we finger it. So I've got my ring finger on the 8th fret of the E string, first finger on the 5th fret of the D string, second finger on the 7th fret of the G string, and then I'm hammering on with my pinky from the 7th fret up to the 9th fret. So the whole chorus goes like this. There's E minor, there's B minor, same shape, we just moved it down, and then there's that guy, C major, and we hammer on up to the major 3rd. So this is a cool way, this is like interchangeable with this guy. They're the exact same chord, only difference being, here we have the 5th G on the A string, here we have the 5th G on the D string, and we're muting the A string. Okay, so that also repeats 4 times. So there's like 8 repetitions. The first 4 are the verse, and the second 4 are the chorus. And then you're going to want to loop right after the end of the chorus. So after you have the rhythm section laid out, we're not going to loop anything for a full pass, so full 8 repetitions or whatever. We're going to start with the main guitar lick. Only that starts before the measure ends, so we have to play like an abridged. At the very first time, we have to play a shortened version of that because we have to finish the loop, and we can't start playing this before the loop ends. So I start it like this. So here I am. That's 15th fret on the B string. I'm going to slide down from the 16th fret to the 14th fret of the G string, down to the 12th, hop down to the D string for one brief note on the 14th, back to the 12th of the G string, and then we're going to slide right back up, 14 to 16. So that whole thing slowly is like this. And then the second time, we can play the little walk-up intro. So that's just a nice little minor pentatonic riff, E minor pentatonic. There's 14th fret A string, 12th fret D string, yeah, 14th fret D string, 12th fret G string, and then hop back down. And then we play that same thing that we started out with. Oh, actually, the second time, we don't go back up like that. We just hammer on from the 12th fret of the D string up to the 14th fret. So that whole thing together, both those little parts, we start out like this. That's the first part, and then I actually move, it repeats again, but this time I play it down here. So exact same notes, but instead of using this minor pentatonic shape, I'm going to use this minor pentatonic shape. So 9th fret D string is where we start, up to the 7th fret G string, 9th fret G string, 8th fret B string, and then we hop up to the E string where we hit 10th fret. And then I'm sliding from the 12th down to the 10th. There's 8, 9 on the G string, back up to the B string where we go 8, 10, slide up to the 12th. So that whole thing is like... And then when it repeats, actually no, we do that 3 times, and then the last time there's kind of like a closing idea, and it's like this. So what I'm doing there, I'm basically just thinking this E minor chord. Here's 9th fret D string, 9th fret G string. There's 7 on B, up to 8. So we walk up. And then back down. Now we hit 7th on the G string. I like to do a little slide there, up to the 9th fret on the D string. 9, 7, 5, 5. So that whole thing's like... Okay, everything that comes after this is improv until the whole loop repeats, and then we start his like vocal line over the verse. So I'm not going to go too in depth right now into what I'm playing on the improv. That's going to be for later. I'm going to do a longer how to improvise, how I like to improvise video later. But for now, just know that I basically don't leave the E minor scale. That guy right there. So I'm really just straight up playing the E minor scale, improvising over this, sometimes jumping around. But it's all straight up E minor scale. So if you learn the minor scale, you start it from any note that's E, you're going to be able to jam over this chord progression. Okay, so after an improv over the chorus section, when the verse comes back around, you're going to want to hit the looper again and lay down the vocal line. There's 2 parts to it. You're going to want to go, like, we're going to do 2 whole repetitions of both the verse and the chorus, because there's a harmony. So there's 2 parts. The first one sounds like this. So, again, straight up out of the E minor scale, here's E, 12th fret, there's F sharp, we're walking up the minor scale, E, F sharp, G, you could bend it if you want. Then we're going to hit 10th fret on the E string, there's D, down to B, 12th fret on the B string, and then right back up. When we repeat it, we're going to play practically the same thing, except we don't go down to the B string. We just walk up the 2 notes that we hit right before that. And then we repeat it again, we play it how we did the first time. Now the last one is the exact same thing. So there's 2 versions. We play one the first and the third time. We play one the second and the fourth time. That's the first one. So first and third. That's second and fourth. After that, so that covers the whole, that's 4 times for the 4 repetitions of the verse chords. Then comes the chorus, where we go up here. I'm bending up, a whole step bend up from the 17th fret. And then we're really only going to use these 3 notes. These would be the first 3 notes of the G major scale. Here's G, A, B, 15th, 17th, 19th. So we're going to bend up from the 17th. That's how the phrasing goes. And if you're trying to figure out exactly how it is, I usually like sing the actual song. Hold on to whatever you can, baby. So it's... There's a little half-step bend in there at the end, and then it repeats. And it does that time, it doesn't climb back up to the 7th, or the 17th fret. Then we repeat the exact same thing. Then the last phrase exact same notes, but syncopated in this way. Or the rhythm is a little bit different. It's like... And again, if you're ever confused, sing it out loud. Oh, I don't trust myself with loving you. Okay, so that's the first part of the harmony. We just played the verse and the chorus. Now we need to lay down the second part of the harmony. So, our first part was up here on E. We're going to play the second part of the harmony starting here on G. So that's 8th fret on the B string, up to 10, up to 12, and it's the exact same rhythm as the first thing that we played. We're going to mirror it exactly, and you want to try to play it as closely to the first one as you possibly can, so that it sounds like it's one. That's kind of the goal. It's like unison. Down to the 7th fret. We hop down to the G string, 7th fret, back up to the B string, 7th, and then up to 8th. So it's like... and then it repeats. But we don't go down to the G string. Again. One more time. Then there's this tiny little part, actually my favorite part of the entire song. It's really subtle and quiet on the record, but John Mayer goes, I don't really understand, right before one of the choruses comes around. So that is, here I'm on the 11th fret of the G string, 10th fret of the B string. I'm going to hammer on up to the 12th fret of both the G and the B strings. Then I'm going to take that first shape and just slide it down a whole step. So that we end on the 9th fret and the 8th fret of the G and the B string. I don't really understand. Okay, then come, and you gotta rattle that off really quickly, because you immediately have to jump back up to the chorus and play the lower of the two chorus harmonies. So, we were up here for the first one. We're going to be right here for the second one. So that's 14th fret E string, up to the 15th fret, down to the 12th fret. And then it's just those three notes. Hold on to whatever you find, baby. And then it repeats. Another time. The last one. Okay, that's it. Everything I do after that is just straight up improv. Like I said, G major, E minor. Those are the scales that I use for improvising in this song. And literally all I play is just scales. That's basically all it is. Just messing around in scales, dipping in between G major, E minor, also the E minor pentatonic scale and the G major pentatonic scale. Yeah, anyways, I'll play the whole thing again one more time so you can put all the pieces together. Sounds like this.